All right, let's get right into it. We are going to pull back the curtain on something you've probably heard a million times, but maybe never really listened to. I'm talking about the hidden psychological tricks behind the sounds in online casinos and betting apps. Believe me, it's a world where every single sound has a purpose.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. When you're using one of those apps, is it ever actually quiet? There's that constant hum, right? That background music. It might seem totally random, but as we're about to find out, it's anything but.
And that's really the big secret here. Every single click, every jingle, every sound of a spinning wheel, it is not just for show. It's all been deliberately, carefully engineered with one single goal in mind: to shape how you behave and to keep you playing longer.
So yeah, let's call this the unheard manipulation. We're going to break down the first and honestly the most clever way these platforms use sound to nudge your decisions, usually without you even having a clue.
First up is something that's, well, it's one of the most deceptive tricks in the entire playbook. And that's disguising your losses to sound exactly like wins. Okay, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine this. You bet $2, the real spin, and you win 50 cents. Now, obviously, that's a net loss of $1.50, right? But what do you hear? The app just erupts with these celebratory sounds, coins clinking, a big triumphant jingle. So what's going on? Why on earth would it celebrate you losing money?
Well, the answer is all about psychology. It's something called a positive reinforcement loop. See, your brain is hardwired to associate those happy, triumphant sounds with a reward. It triggers a little hit of dopamine, which makes you feel good. The sound literally hijacks your brain's reward system, convincing you that you just won, even when your bank account clearly says you just lost.
And this is the really wild part. The result is you end up feeling good about losing money. Seriously. The sound design gives you a little jolt of pleasure from an action that is literally costing you, which of course makes you want to hit that spin button again right away to get another one of those feel-good audio hits.
It's basically a perfect auditory illusion. What your wallet sees as a clear loss, your ears and your brain register as a big win. And that is exactly the point.
Okay, but it's not just about those little jingles and dings. Nope, the entire musical environment is a tool. This brings us to the second big technique: setting the tempo to control how fast or slow you play.
And this comparison just illustrates the strategy perfectly. On one hand, you have something like live sports betting. The goal there? Urgency. They want you to act fast. So what do? They blast fast-paced, high-energy music to create that sense of, oh man, I gotta bet now before the odds change. But then you look at online card games. The goal is totally different. It's about endurance. They want you to sit at that virtual table for hours. So the music becomes slow, ambient, almost hypnotic, right? It's all designed to keep you relaxed and just wagering continuously.
All right, this brings us to our third and final technique. And it's all about a sound that you will almost never hear in these apps: silence. You see, the absence of sound is just as engineered as its presence. So, why is silence their enemy? Well, think about it. A pause in the sound often means a pause in the action. Silence gives you a moment to stop and to think. It's a little window of opportunity for your rational brain to jump in and say, hey, wait a minute, how much have I actually spent? By keeping a continuous, seamless soundscape going, they keep you immersed, almost in a trance, in the zone, where you're just way less likely to stop and question things.
So when you put all of these pieces together, you've got the fake wins, you've got the tempo control, and you've got the total lack of silence, you start to see the real strategy. It's all about creating this hypnotic auditory world that's literally designed to bypass your rational mind and just keep you betting.
Okay, so we've pulled back the curtain and exposed the playbook. But now let's talk about what really matters. What can you do with this information? This is all about turning this knowledge into your own kind of power.
Look, the point here isn't to make you paranoid. It's just to make you aware. Because once you understand the why behind these sounds, you're no longer just a passive participant in the manipulation. You actually become a more conscious, more informed consumer.
So here's a really simple 3-step framework you can use. First, just listen. I mean, really listen. The next time you're using one of these apps, don't just let the sounds wash over you. Pay active attention to them. Second, identify them. When you hear that big triumphant jingle for a net loss, call it out in your head for what it is: a fake win, a psychological nudge. And finally, number 3, Decide. Make your next choice based on your new awareness, not just on that automatic feeling the sound was designed to trigger.
And that really is the final question I want to leave you with. Knowing all this is the first step, for sure, but the real test is what you do with it. Now that you can actually hear the manipulation, can you ignore it? Will it change how you play?